Hey, hi there. Today we will be looking at the CC upgrades, and I wanted to make an option that will allow the player to hide or show the completed upgrades. So I didn't fully realize yet how complicated this will be. I think it would be quite easy, but we never know. We might have some complications on the way. So we can just simply start by going into the handler managing CC upgrades in order to create a new method that will allow us to return all the unlocked upgrades which are not completed. Here we have our handler for CC upgrades. So basically what we want is a filter that returns all the upgrades which are unlocked and which didn't reach their max level. So we can do another filter, or we can um, actually apply a second filter on this list that we're getting in this method, right? So let's create a new method that will filter through all the unlocked upgrades to get rid of anyone with max level being equal to level. So here we have a little problem which is appearing in the form of a warning. The max level property that we created is not part of the abstract class of the upgrades. So maybe we can go update the upgrade abstract class to have max level be in the abstract and then update all the upgrades to get the max level to be initialized in the init method instead of being declared as a property. So here, that's cool because we do have a list of errors that actually remind us each and every file which must be updated. So that's a cool thing Godot is doing. Right. So we have cleaned all the upgrades to match the new abstract design. That's very cool. So now we do have a new method that returns a new list of upgrades. So in fact, what we need to do is to go in the component displaying the upgrades and modify the behavior to respond to a setting variable, basically, to know which method must be called to get the upgrade. Here we do have the method which basically generates the upgrades and the list of upgrades. So we have this get all unlocked upgrades there, but we actually want now to have a different behavior, which is based on a setting. Should we get all unlocked upgrades or all unlocked non-max level upgrades? So we need to create a new setting first. So here it's really a simple setting. Do we want to show max level upgrades? Yes or no? That's really the full description of this variable. Now that we have the variable being declared, we can use it in the method here to know exactly which method must be called. Here is the modification of this method. Here, what we want to do is have a simple check. If the option is set to true, we will get all the upgrades no matter what. And if the option is set to false, then we will get only the upgrades which are not max level. From there, we actually need to create something in the UI for the player to be able to modify this Boolean value here. So here is the view of the co-upgrades. I'm not sure how we can put this option. Maybe we can have it left of the tooltip. That could be interesting to have it there, I think. I will create a horizontal box container, which I will position in between the label and the texture. The reason why I use a container like this is because I will create a micro component which will contain a label which will say here is what the option does, and a button which we will be able to check on and off. Okay, so here we have created a little check button. So now we will just go in it and see what kind of signal it is giving away. So here we have the emitted when the button was just toggled between pressed and normal states. The new state is contained in the toggle on argument. So that is probably the signal we will be using. So let's connect this signal to the script right now. Uncheck button toggle. Maybe we could rename this a little bit better. That could be better. Here we are assigning to our setting in there the inverted value from the button, because the button when true is about hiding max level upgrades, while this setting when true is should we show max level upgrade. So they are inverted. That might be a little bit tricky to have this little inversion here, but yeah, that's it is what it is. It could be changed, I guess, but that's it. Now, the important thing that we must implement is to have the list updating when we check the button, right? So we want the list to regenerate in order to show the new list with or without the max level upgrade. So we do want to call the regeneration method. Here it is contained in the onUpgrade unlocked, which is okay, but it's not very clear that it is doing what it does. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab everything here and put it in another method, which is going to be uh, regenerate upgrade, maybe. And here we will take all these contents and just call regenerate upgrade there, as well as when we toggle the button. Right. If you're wondering why I'm having those empty comments, I'm just humoring my brain, which really got used to having the code aired, spaced out with those comments in between variables and functions. So it's just to keep things visual for me. Anyway, I think actually we are ready to test the feature. Okay. Um, that is the initial value for this setting was inverted compared to the value in the game. So it is actually important to set this one to true. And now we can actually go in there, buy this upgrade and have it being there and hide it when it's max level. All right. Now there is something else we have to take care of, which is a very specific scenario when we do level up an upgrade and have it reach max level. So right now it seems like it's already working from the testing that we did, but the only reason why when we test the game, go in there, hide the max level and have the awakened universe disappearing is because we do unlock new upgrades which force the list to regenerate and hide the first upgrade. But if we buy this one to level 5, doesn't work. So maybe we could now add a new signal, which is basically being triggered when an upgrade is reaching max level. We have different ways of doing this. The first one is to use the current signal upgrade leveling up. So whenever an upgrade levels up, we can regenerate the list. That's one thing we can do. But we can also just simply create a new signal. So maybe that's what we can do. Let's create a, well, actually it's going to force us to, or maybe not. Let me check. Okay. Here we have the signal upgrade level up. We can use the signal to create a new method which will check if the upgrade is reaching max level or not. So let's create a new signal which is upgrade reached max level without any argument. Okay. Now we will create a new method. Here, what we will do is basically check if the upgrade which level up is now at max level. If it is, then we will emit the signal upgrade reached max level. And we will give it the argument, just in case, because It's actually very lucky that we have the argument here, otherwise it would have been more complicated to do. So for this method to be triggered when something levels up, it is necessary to connect the signal. So here we have a node, so we should have a ready function. Yep, we do have a ready function that we do use already quite a lot. So here we connected the signal and we have this check. So maybe now we can go back to consciousness core view and connect this new signal to a new method that will regenerate the list whenever something is reaching max level. And of course, not forgetting to connect the signal. That's an error that I made a lot. So now we can make the very last testing. So let's see, we hide the max upgrade level, we awaken the universe, and increase this to level 5, and it's gone. Exactly like we wish. Well, we have done this picture in not so long, really. Yeah, it's kind of cool to have smaller episodes within the bigger one. Helps not being always overwhelmed by the amount of work, if I could say it like this, both for you and me. So yeah, that's it for this episode. I hope you liked it, and I will see you in the next one, which is a complete mystery.